Warhammer 40k Darktide had a rough launch. I have heard many people talk about it. I have heard the game got better, but I never really gave it a proper try, so I decided to change that. The game started with a short intro that gave us a bit of lore, so we knew what was going on. From the intro, we learned that it is currently the 41st millennium, and that for the 10,000 years, the Imperium has dominated the galaxy. Every human is dedicated to the service of the God Emperor of Mankind, which seems to be this skeleton guy. And apparently, what they just said now is considered a heresy. Am I in danger? Ahem. I managed to escape. Anyway, where were we at? There are a few armies that serve the Empire, and we learn about two of them. The first is called Astra Militarum, which consists of conscripted soldiers, and second is Adeptus Astrates, which includes Space Marines. We learn that the war we are gonna fight isn't fought in space.
I'm in space.
I know you are, mate. Yeah, we're both in space. Anyway.
Instead, it's fought in the cities and hives of the Imperium by the agents of the Imperial Inquisition. And if the Inquisition fails, the Imperium falls with us. Now that we know the game's background lore, we are ready to start. As soon as the intro ended, I was greeted with the character creation menu and swiftly moved towards the class selection. The classes that caught my attention were Hivescum, due to its fast movement, Psyker, as I'm a huge fan of magic classes, and lastly, the Zealot. However, the team I was playing with already had two Zealots, so I decided to go with Psyker and leave the Zealot for another try. However, as I soon found out, it turned to be out quite a headache. I am starting to think that Psyker needs some serious painkillers. I quickly made my character by choosing his background planet. I chose Branks Magna. I selected my childhood, growing up, and defining moment. Not knowing much about the lore of 40k, I just chose what looked cool. As soon as I got to customization, I tried to make my character not look like they're over 90. And lastly, I have chosen our voice and the crime. And is it just me, or does the loner voice sound like typical villain from Disney show? Like, just give it a listen, okay?
It seems that no matter how low I set my expectations, it can always get worse.
It's not just me, right? Anyways, now before we go further, most of the footage in this video will be from stream. So we'll see my mother in the corner, just sitting there for the rest of the video. Enjoy. As the game finally starts, we are greeted by yet another cutscene. This time showing our character interacting with a person who seems to be a prison guard. However, as they are about to decide our fate, something happens. We hear a gunshot, and then more. Soon, we can see someone running towards us. Somehow, all of the shots miss them. And as they get close enough, they explode, freeing the prisoners on the opposite side of our cell, and letting us out as well. Not wanting to stay in the cell, we get up and find a way out. And here is where the tutorial finally starts. The first thing we learn is how to use our shovel to attack. And I have to say, it's quite satisfying. As we went through the tutorial, we finally arrived at the stage where we get access to our first gun. And being honest with you, after shooting it a few times, I came back straight to melee. It just felt more satisfying. I mean, just look at it. I really should play Zealot next time for sure. With our next weapon in hand, we quickly made progress and finally arrived at the evacuation pod. After a short defense section, the mission finally ended, and we are free to explore the main lobby. I quickly followed the guidance and met each NPC that I had to. I invited my friends and we jumped straight into the campaign. As soon as we started our first mission, the way it all progressed kinda reminded me of Payday. You have an objective and many enemies are standing in your way. As Payday 2 was one of my favorite games, I instantly felt hooked. However, as soon as I started to play more, I noticed some issues. The Psyker just felt very weak. I really disliked the way it played. The weapons felt weak. Melee wasn't as effective as other classes, and I could barely use my brain burst spell, as everyone usually died before it charged up. And then when it came to survivability, I felt like I was dying so quickly in comparison to other classes. As I played through the game, I slowly unlocked new weapons and learned how to upgrade and craft them. The second weapon I unlocked was laser gun instead of the pistol, which made the combat a bit more bearable. However, I still felt like my class was lacking, and honestly, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this class, but as I played the game more, my opinion slowly changed. The first major turning point was when I first acquired the shock ability. Although I heard the brain burst was very strong, due to the speed at which we were killing things, I couldn't really use it most of the time, and dealing with bigger groups of enemies was painful. With the shock, I was finally able to do more. Instead of just barely being able to pop the spells, I was casting them quite often, shocking and stunning enemies everywhere. It felt so fun. I really loved the way it worked. Even if it wasn't doing that much damage. It felt so cool wielding the power of lightning in my own hands. We progressed through the campaign, and things slowly became more difficult. Even though we were still playing on the same difficulty, we wiped like 3 times on one map. Even though we wiped a few times, we got stronger with each run. We unlocked new perks, and my friends even got a cool new weapons. Yes, I'm looking at you, Zealot, with your lovely flamethrower. I need it! One of the things that I really loved about this game was how the characters interacted with each other. The banter between them made the missions way more fun to play through, and it gave the characters way more personality. The second major turning point for me was when I finally acquired my first staff. Even though the guns were very cool, they didn't really fit the idea for the mage. So when I got my hands on my first staff, I instantly fell in love with that thing. The quick attack was strong and effective, and since this weapon was causing peril, the perk I got before allowed me to regain my toughness every time I attacked with it. So my survivability got much better. My only problem at that moment was that although I loved the staff, I really disliked how long it took to cast the second ability on it. However, I was told that at later levels I could unlock the fire staff, and once I did, I loved it. Being able to ignite everyone, and then as they are burning, stun them with lightning was such a cool power fantasy. But since using lightning and fire together wasn't very effective, I switched back to Brain Burst and used the fire staff as my primary weapon of choice. Although, all of that didn't change the fact that when someone got close to me, I usually got one-tapped, or at least it felt like it. But as I kept playing more, my dodges got better, and I got better at surviving tight encounters. But then my friend Shade sent us all to a certain fun mode that played like a roguelite. And to make matters worse, as a mage, I got a perk to make my melee attacks better. Not my spells, nor my staff. So this didn't turn out well. I kept wiping, and then stuff didn't go that well. And for some unknown reason, enemies really had it against me that one round. I mean, just have a look at it yourself. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. During our playtime, we met several unique monsters, ranging from huge creatures to even dogs. And I have to tell you that, despite huge monsters looking scary, the real monsters were the net-throwing guys and the dogs. The dogs got me so many times, and one of them was very special indeed. Bro, wait! Wait! I am clipping that! After losing in that mode, we decided to keep going through the story. And as I kept playing, I tried different weapons. I tried shock staff, I didn't like it as much. Then I tried another void staff, but stuff still didn't click in. And lastly, I tried the flame staff, which you guys already know, I really loved. And as soon as I unlocked my other powers, stuff got even better. I finally started to feel the true power of my class, and I really loved it. I felt like the true Psyker, one moment casting lightning from my hands, while at another sending the wave of fire towards my enemies. And with the newly acquired arsenal, we decided to play that roguelite mode once more, and this time it went so much better. My experience with Darktide was quite interesting. I didn't like it as much at first, but as soon as my class leveled up, I started to have so much fun. With this being my first intro to the Warhammer 40k series, I can't wait to try out more. I will definitely play more Darktide on streams, as I really want to try the other classes and let you know what I think. The next Warhammer game I plan to play will be Space Marines 2. If you want to see me try it, make sure you subscribe so you won't miss the upcoming streams. And if you want to watch something else, then YouTube thinks you will like this video. I can't wait to see you all next time. See ya!